Hey, all you pilgrims on the Ascension journey. Hey, I'm in Travis Carper, Ascension Health Coach. I am down here in Southern Oregon again. I never get positioned quite right. Anyhow, I hope you guys are doing really well and everybody's healthy, no fears, because most of it's just a fear thing. It's basically like the CDC. For a second, let's talk about the C virus, just for a second. Anyways, the CDC, the protein sequencing, the DNA sequencing. Anyways, we all have it according to that test kit, right? So because like everybody who's ever had a flu, the 1,000 strains of corona, anyways, they test for that, and that's why everybody's got it. Or they're just actually just saying, even though somebody died of lung cancer, they died of the C virus. Anyways, enough talk about that. We got to move on. There's all kinds of other things happening. Pretty soon the mass arrests will start happening. And as we go through, I've been posting on Facebook and Twitter and my MeWe, those social media outlets, the waves when they come in, the Schumann resonances, frequencies, the air showers, right? The secondary ionized particles that are coming in. So that's why I want to get into another Alchemical Wizard 35, the Fascial tissue system. I'm calling it the bioliquid crystalline matrix that makes up. We're going to talk about that and how it fits in to the other blog that I wrote and several videos when I talk about the cosmic rays influence on our biofield, right? On our biofield physiology. Okay, I might need another coffee or something here. Anyways, kombucha. Anyways, let's just read from here right now. Okay, let's do this, and then you guys can hook up on a different video, however you want to do it, like if me talking, or I even post the one where the computer voice, so you can just get right through the meat of it and get right through the blog. Okay, so there'll be links for all that, like at the end of the videos. Okay, anyways, Alchemical Wizard 35, the Fascial tissue system bioliquid crystalline matrix. Fascia is a network of connective tissue that envelops almost everything in our biological body, from muscles and the skeleton, myofascial tissue, myofascial, to organs and cells. Fascia is the biological fabric that holds us together. A collagenous tissue network. We are about 70 trillion cell systems. 70 trillion neurons, muscle cells, and epithelial cells, all being aptly held together by the fascial tissue system. Our circulatory system is more than a chemical regulator, and our autonomic nervous system is more than a timing regulator, as is our fascial system, being much more than a system of biomechanical regulation. Yeah, because the research is there. We're getting into it, how, I always talk about the electromagnetic universe, and they're finding out that the electrical, that's why I'm reading this too, because the photons, the gamma rays coming in, right? These highly charged frequency particles, right? That are coming in, and how they're getting into our biofield physiology and then down further, and how the free radical electrons, right, that move around and hit other molecules, and then and then they're redesigning the RNA template, the etheric RNA template, right, and then that rearranges the DNA structure, right, our supposed junk DNA, which is our potential DNA, or the dormant DNA. Anyhow, moving on, man. So the fascial tissue system, right? It's basically like more than just hormonal transfers of the endocrine system. It is an electrical system, right? And it's touching, anyways, I'll just read. Imagine the fascia as a web of millions of thin sewing threads that work alongside each other. If they stick together, which happens when we rest, problems may occur. That is why it is suggested as we get older to stretch or do yin yoga as one of the first holistic protocols when getting up. First I make a healthy tea, then I get the mat out. Fascia that is restricted affects mobility, and since there are 6 times more neurons in the fascia than in muscles, lockups in the fascia can be linked to pain in the lower back or elsewhere as numerous biological and muscle-related afflictions. A stuck or sick fascia quickly becomes a chronic pain cycle as inflammation occurs. The flow of fluid and the immune system is affected, and the pain itself makes recovery more difficult. Now, we've talked about the kinesiology and applied kinesiology, right? And muscle testing. So that's really an important other alternative vibrational medicine, or even just a holistic modality, a healing modality, right? Okay, so keep that in mind. There's another blog about that too. Okay, so where were we? Fascial tissue is made up of 3 primary components that are collagen, elastin, and ground substance. The collagen is a firm structure that resembles small hollow tubes. These collagenous microtubules are assembled into a fractal matrix that both protects and supports all other tissue and transmits force instinctively throughout our biological body. The elastin is a soft and pliable tissue that stretches like a rubber band. The ground substance is an oil-like amino alcohol, a liquid crystalline substance that exists both around and within the hollow collagen microtubules. It gives a hydraulic aspect to the fascia that assists in motion at the cellular level and prevents the microtubules from collapsing by increasing their strength. It also acts as a lubricant to the external surfaces of the microtubules, which allows reorganization of fascial structures under physical and emotional stress, which of course is an electromagnetic traumatic component to ponder, right? Emotional stress, right? And that's when you get pinched up and like part of your tissue that's just underneath the epidermis layer, right? That the fascia, which it covers all the muscles, it covers the bone, I mean, you know, that white stuff that the surgeon shouldn't be cutting into. Anyhow, that's why I'm giving everybody all of these holistic health modalities, to consider all these alternatives. And it's obvious that the established medical practitioners, and all the synthesized drugs are in cahoots, right? It's all corrupted to keep you sick and stuff. Now, I know, I just can't stress it enough to stay hydrated with structured water and consider all of the, the exercise protocol, the stretching, the yoga, which helps you sit for a longer period of time to meditate. And then that way you're listening to the cosmic, to your higher vibrational self, and you're letting it be a symbiotic flow through to Gaia and then back out to the universe. This is your avatar. I know I talk about it all the time. Okay, let's move on. We know, Trav, you've done 50 videos. Restricted fascial tissue reduces or stops cellular respiration, which is the flow of nutrients to and flow of waste away. From our cells, respiration is essential to cellular function. If our cells can't function properly, they can become ineffective or even die. When ineffective, they can behave improperly or even mutate and become what is known as dis-ease, right? Through advances in microscopic imagery technology, we now have a greater understanding of the structure of fascia and its various components. This has allowed us a better understanding of its functions, including the transmission of electrical signals at speeds faster than nerve tissue is capable of. Faster, that's what's going on in this ascension process too. We're moving faster, right? The higher frequency, it's vibrating faster, right? And your actual avatar is transmutating to compensate for the higher frequencies. It's going into the fascia tissue now, right? Like I wrote that blog and did a video, cosmic rays influence on our biofield physiology, right? Okay, let's get into this, man. This is fascinating stuff. Among the many amazing discoveries, among the many amazing discoveries about fascial tissue is its role in intercellular communication and controlling cellular function. This includes cellular respiration, muscle contraction, capillary dilation, etc. Our biological bodies are comprised of billions of cells. Our nerves only contact a portion of them. The nervous system only contacts a portion of the cells in your biology, right? Your bio. Where were we? Contact a portion of them. How then do the cells have no direct contact with our nervous system, receive commands to function? The answer is the fascial tissue system. Through advances in did I already read that? Better understanding function, transmission of electrical at faster speeds. When fascia is restricted, these signals cannot get through to the cells waiting for commands. Additionally, recent research has shown that the majority of our nerve endings occur within the fascial extracellular matrix itself. This further confirms that the fascial tissue system's role in the healthy function of our biological bodies. More than just physical trauma and inflammation from a poor diet, emotional trauma plays into fascial restrictions. Fascial restrictions can exert excessive pressure, causing all kinds of symptoms, producing pain, headaches, restriction of motion. Fascial restrictions affect our flexibility and stability and are a determining factor in our ability to withstand stress and perform daily activities. As I have said before, that our endocrine and nervous systems are being stressed by the incoming photonic pulsed waves, cosmic rays, secondary ionized particles, scalar waves, adamantine particles, all kinds of different descriptions. However you want to, if you want more of a spiritual, old, chelotic morphogenetic description, adamantine particle. It's just the smallest particle, an atom, an adamantine atom, right? An electron, a proton, neutron, quark, okay, the smallest. Or the secondary ionized particles and astroparticle physics and the cosmology, right? It goes into the ionosphere and they get ionized, right? And then they come down. Okay, where were we? So also is our fascial tissue system being bombarded with free radical particles as redesigned RNA molecules help to reignite and restructure our potential DNA, man. Hence this transmutational process of our carbon-based biological bodies becoming more christened or crystalline. Now in our newest upgrading of our bioliquid, quote here, bioliquid crystalline matrix, that's what we're calling it now, or our fascial tissue system as we shift into fourth density. The question is, how do we nurture and manage our biological BLCM for a more tolerable ascension process, Travis? Well, I'm glad you asked. Besides the holistic practices of yin yoga, qigong, tai chi, meditation, etc., let us add the foam roller on the mat so that you can do it yourself, right? You've seen those foam rollers. So you can get different parts of your body and hit those certain points. Now, there's charts that you can look up on almost like the meridians points, right, in acupressure and acupuncture in the ancient Chinese medicine. Anyways, you can look up a chart and find where those fascia tissue points are, okay? And look up research into the muscle testing and the applied kinesiology and self-applied kinesiology. Okay, where were we? So, add foam roller, as well as suggested myofascial release practitioner, man, perhaps before self-myofascial release. So there's myofascial release practitioners too. You know, if you got the money, or save up some money and go do this, because I'm gonna read this because this is really excellent. Another really good alternative healing modality. As we're going through these times, and we're all finding out. I mean, you know, sure, like some of us have known about all these alternatives. You know, we lived a hippie kind of lifestyle and all that, but you're really, we're collectively going through like a real wake-up call. So there's always more to learn, man. For further research, check out the John F. Barnes myofascial release approach. It is considered to be the ultimate therapy that is safe, gentle, and consistently effective in producing results that last. John F. Barnes, PT, has trained over 100,000 therapists and physicians, is an international lecturer, author, and authority on myofascial release. He's a physical therapist and is considered to be a visionary and teacher in the highest caliber. Trauma, inflammatory responses, and or surgical procedures create myofascial restrictions, right? Yeah. See? And if you have chronic pain, the inflammation probably over and over, there are things that you can do with your diet, right? You can, and you can do the intermittent fasting, and you can do like the, you know, like the turmeric, you know, and the black pepper, and, you know, and maybe the MSM crystals and all this, the mixture that I make, and then I put it with the raw apple cider vinegar and sip on that at night. And then that way your inflammation's really good, like your osteoporosis and your arthritis and stuff. Anyways, I've talked about that a million times. Look into that. But they're it's giving you the fascial tissue inflammatory, you know, that's going on. So there's more to just your muscles, right? You know, and your blood and in your anatomy, your avatar, man. It's just it needs to be nurtured. It really needs to be nurtured. I can't stress that enough. Another thing I'll give you guys another tip here. I know I write about it a lot, but for your thyroid gland, when the cosmic rays are coming in, right, when there's air showers, there's different little liquid ones that you can get iodine. Add a little extra iodine to your water to help, right? It helps with radiation. That's what we're going through. We're getting radiated. That's why everybody's like, whoa, man, I'm having ascension symptoms, Trav. I have a client right now that's in London, England, and he's kind of getting bombarded too by a little bit of the Wi-Fi and the cell towers too. So he's had to really slow down. He's got a weird sleep pattern going right now. So anyways, just some tips there. okay? Just to really consider these alternatives, right? Okay, where were we? Trauma, inflammatory, surgical procedure, myofascial restrictions can produce tensile pressures of approximately 2,000 pounds per square inch on pain-sensitive structures that do not show up in many of the standard tests like x-rays and myelograms and CAT scans and electromyography, etc. The medical approach is to drug patients so they temporarily are free from pain, but does nothing about the straitjacket of pressure that is causing the pain. Traditional physical, occupational, and massage therapy treats the symptoms caused by the pressure of the straitjacket of the myofascial tissue system, but does nothing for the straitjacket of the pressure that causes and perpetuates the symptoms. This is why so many patients only have temporary results, never seeming to get better with traditional therapy. So only myofascial release treats the entire myofascial mind-body complex, eliminating the pressure of the restricted myofascial tissue system, or I call the BLCM, what did I call it? The bio-liquid crystalline matrix, the straitjacket that causes the symptoms. This could very well help support those of us who are having a tougher time with Ascension symptoms and allowing an accumulation of stresses to be released. Release the stress. I mean, I'm going to definitely save up some money and get one of these. I still haven't gotten the myofascial release approach yet. I almost did. A friend of mine actually is almost a master. She's been taking the master classes, and I almost had one. I got real close. But this is like the real deal, man. This is like the real deal. I know some insurances don't cover. I know it took me like 2 years or something to get my insurance to cover, to get a massage so I could get loosened just enough to get to the chiropractor so I could get an adjustment. So yeah, I know all about our healthcare system. That's why I'm going through all of these alternatives, and if you can just, however you can do it, like if you don't, set your car somewhere for a while and bicycle and save that money so that you can use it on your avatar. However you can re-budget, rethink the holistic health, all of the practices and tools and protocols that you can utilize to actually have a better well-being and a better life, right? That's what we're talking about, a holistic lifestyle, right? And it's not that hard to do, especially, if I'm doing it, anybody can do it, right? It seems like to me, Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll just say this, because I was getting on the bus. I put my bike on, and then I go a little bit further, and then I take the bike off, and then I ride my bike, right? Anyways, I saw all kinds of fast food places just completely packed. Just cars lined up going to fast food places. And I was just like, oh my goodness, guys. Man, you guys, look at that stuff underneath a microscope. Oh, it's unreal. Okay, so anyways. So, another vibrational medicine modality alternative to the mainstream medical or big pharma, as we are seeing right before our eyes in this linear time, to expand our knowledge of what it means to be in an electromagnetic universe and to utilize a biofield physiological avatar. So that's what we are talking about there. The myofascial tissue system, the bioliquid crystalline matrix, right? That runs all in here, right? And then goes and tells microorganisms, the beneficial bacteria, hey man, you got to heal this guy. Oh wait, he's spending like 60-70% of his energy on digesting like really crappy food, So You got to give yourself a break for that. I know. I'm raising my hand too. I got to do a little bit more of the intermittent fasting myself. I've been kind of terrible staying up late at night to try to, because, you know, my situation, right? My dad's like always sitting right out there, right? You know, he's 81. And so to try to avoid him a little bit, I stay up late. Anyways, maybe a bit too much information. Anyhow, so there you guys go. Another one, right? We're moving along into this. I saw a whole bunch of waves. Please check my Twitters and my Facebook account. If you know, because I do a lot of updating there on the cosmic rays, right? The air showers. I'm always up on that. So yeah, we're shifting. This is a good one, guys. Stay in there, stay healthy, you know, right? Get a little bit of the exercise at home. I see people that are really getting into, you know, putting their home little exercise studio together. Really cool. Okay, I'll leave you guys. Blessings. Stay hydrated, my friends, with structured water.